I am God. I am the flight attendant. No smoking on board, please. What is a flight attendant? It's interesting because my ex-girlfriend, her name was Ania Bilak. She lived with me for a year. She lived for me for 1 year. Sorry, my very yellow finger. Need to give it a good scrub. Anyway, it's all the tar from smoking. Yeah. My ex-girlfriend, Ania Bilak, she became a flight attendant. How do I know that? Because she never told me that. I saw the pictures online. Looked like she was working as, I guess people call them, trolley dollies. She was a trolley dolly for, I think, British Airways. I think. Or some airline. And why is it important? Because, well, I'm God, okay? I've been born into this body, and I've traveled by airplane many times. And what happens, I get on an airplane and have a seat booked and sit in a seat. And sometimes seats get switched and stuff like that. But it's a chair in the sky, and that matters because, as I've explained with the tarot deck, and I'll go through it one more time here just to show you the World card. Okay. The World card, yeah. Oh, and there's the Judgment card as well. Okay, you can use. So there are 22 cards in the major arcana. Okay. This is called the World card. It's number 21, but really it's the 22nd card of the major arcana, because the very first card is number 0, and it's called the Fool. It's a magic card. I mean, all these cards are magic, and yeah, these cards are to be interpreted, if you know what I'm saying. So, in Revelation chapter 4, it talks about the throne of God, and it talks about the 4 living creatures around the throne of God. You notice how this woman, she's in a round thing. Yeah, this is magic. It's about my anus, my anus. And that's the thing, right? Because my ex-girlfriend, who was a flight attendant, well, her name was Ania. And, yes. Anal sex was something I did with her a lot. So this is number 21. What's the card that comes before it? It's the Judgment card. Notice there's the angel in the clouds, and he's blowing. He's got something in his mouth. And what's interesting, it's supposed to be a trumpet, right? But I mean, look, he's blown on that thing, and there's all those clouds around there, right? I mean, what if he was just smoking a giant pipe or something? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's like a weed pipe or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's smoking some ganja in it or something. Do you know what I'm saying? And those are all the clouds. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it really? But really, you know, this is supposed to be, you know, he's supposed to be the trumpet blower, and these people are waking up from their graves. Judgment. This is the magic, because people say, the idea of under judgment, right? Well, this is the world card, and this is the judgment card. The world is under judgment, and here's judgment. It's under the world card. And what was the card that was before the judgment card? It's the sun card, right? So it's actually the sun that's under the judgment card, because this is 19 and this is 20 XX. So yeah, anyways, what's a flight attendant? Well, I'm the flight attendant. I've attended many flights in my life. It's an interesting thing to talk about because, and I've mentioned this so many times, but I went to a boarding school when I was 13. I went to a boarding school called Charter House. Okay, charter is associated with charter flights. It's a word, charter is a word used with flights, not to mention boarding. I started there in September 2001. And obviously what happened, basically the first week I was there was the September 11th attacks. I'd only been there for 1 or 2 weeks at the most, at boarding school. It's in Guildford, in Godalming. I'm God. And Aaliyah Dana Houghton, she died on the 25th of August. It was only weeks before I started at that boarding school. And when I was at that boarding school, I was only there for probably less than, probably 6 months. I already started smoking. Do you know what I mean? I started smoking pretty much, I wasn't there very long before I started smoking. And there was a guy in my class called Joe Padfield. And I heard he got caught for smoking. And I thought, ooh. I went and chatted to him and said, oh, so you smoke? And so he says, yeah. And I was like, I'll come with you. And I just went with him. And then I started bringing my own cigarettes. And that's how I started smoking. Yeah. So, what can I say about... this is the thing. When I was a kid, when I would travel with my mum, called Fiona, or Thee, she would smoke on airplanes. I remember when she used to get out of her seat and she would go to the back of the airplane to an area where they were allowed to smoke. I never was allowed to smoke on an airplane because they banned it before I started smoking. It's very strange because when I started smoking, when I got out of boarding school, when I was 16 years old, smoking in bars and clubs was still legal, but it wasn't for very long. It was only a few years. Yeah, I think it was only a few years before they banned smoking. Because I was 16 and it would have been about 2003, 2004, something like 2004. When did they ban smoking in bars? I think it was probably around 2008 or something. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, or was it 2010? Maybe it was something like 2010. It was somewhere around 2010. Probably earlier than 2010, but whatever. You know, they banned it. And this is the thing, right? Because no is a word, right? But actually, no is, well, it's actually two words. And they're very important words, actually. They're really important words, isn't it? If someone says no, N-O, then they're saying, you know, it's a negative response, right? Like, do you want something? No. Would you like to hang out today? No. But, you know, no, you know, as in like knowing, knowledge, it sounds the same, right? A K-N-O-W is the silent K, right? K-N-O-W. And I guess you could say the W silent as well, because you don't say now, you say no. Because now is N-O-W, you say now. You don't say no, you say now. So if no, K-N-O-W, yeah, the silent K, and then you could argue the W is silent as well. Maybe. Or it's just a different way of pronouncing it, but whatever. It's so fucking annoying, this bullshit, isn't it? I mean... Why does it all matter, though? Well, first of all, I'm the flight attendant, and the world wants to pretend that I'm somebody else. And the thing is that my throne is in heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all magic. So people go in airplanes, they fly around in the sky. You know, what else? You know, humans, you know, people used to smoke, right? I mean, obviously, I used to know my mom who smoked on airplanes, right? You know, when you go on an airplane, it says no smoking. And what does it mean to be smoking as well? You know, if someone's like, you know, let's say someone's a very hot, good-looking individual, you could argue that they are smoking, right? I mean, the world's just trying to control the skies and trying to keep me out of it. That's basically what the world's trying to do. It's trying to battle me for my place in heaven. So, you know, the thing is I am the flight attendant, and actually I am the pilot as well, because, and you could even say co-pilot as well, because I've done flying lessons and I have actually flown an airplane as well. And it was actually my mum, Fiona, who bought me the flying lessons. This was probably, I don't know, it was ages ago. It was a long time ago. I mean, it was before the Shoreham air crash. You know, I mean, that's where I flew from, the Shoreham airport. You know, if you know that, you know, it was years and years and years ago, at least 10 years ago, more than that, there was that big airplane crash at the Shoreham airport. They were putting on an air show, and some guy who was doing a loop, he was doing a big loop in the sky in a fighter jet thing, and he came back down, and he was too low to complete. He couldn't complete the loop, and he went straight into he hit the motorway, and he had to eject himself. I think he ejected himself, didn't he? I think he did. And it was all over the TV and stuff like that, right? Well, that's the airport I flew from. Yeah. If I remember correctly, I flew a Diamond DA-40. That's the plane that I flew, a Diamond DA-40. I was supposed to have 3 lessons. I did 2 lessons, And then for the third lesson, I told the guy I didn't want to do it because I wasn't enjoying the flying lessons. I just didn't really want to do it. So I didn't like the guy. I thought he was an asshole. And I wasn't enjoying it. I was just like, I'd rather just forget about it. Bye. So that's what I did. So I am the flight attendant, and I am the pilot, and I am the co-pilot. I'm all of them. And I know smoking on airplanes, right? I know in the terms of, I've seen people smoking on, I watched my mum smoked on airplanes, and I used to, I witnessed her doing those things, right? It's important because, what do you find in the sky? What do you find in the sky? Clouds, right? Have you ever heard of cloud seeding? People talk about people trying to, people try to control the weather. They do cloud seeding. I mean, this is all important because, have you heard of, there's Qatar Airlines, for instance, right? Qatar. Well, there's like a medical condition, right? I mean, I've got a menthol nasal stick here, and it says on here that it is, what does it say? It says relief from Qatar, and that is spelled CATARRH. So it's relief from Qatar, colds, and blocked sinuses. So I use this sometimes. And, but obviously there's the country, the place, it's called Qatar. It's spelled QATAR. And it's called Qatar Airlines. Okay? Now, I would argue I have Qatar. It's some, I suffer from Qatar, probably. Maybe. I mean, that's, I guess my smoking probably would have caused it, right? And so, and the other thing is, there's, I've seen the videos of that airline. It's, I think it's a United States of America airline service, and it's called Spirit Airlines. I think it's Spirit Airlines. And they've had fires on their planes, and they've had to take them down and all sorts of stuff. I don't know if you saw in the news yesterday. I only saw it briefly, but they were talking about the airplanes and them having software problems on their planes, so they're going to have to recall them. Yeah. Well, I'm God. This is the thing, right? Man and woman, they keep wanting to steal what's mine, right? They keep wanting to try to take heaven from me as if it belongs to them, and they're trying to cast me out of it. And then people wonder why there are all these airplanes falling out of the sky and people keep dying. And I keep telling people, I'm God. If you're gonna hate me, and you think you're going on holiday, you're gonna go fly up in the clouds and do your hocus pocus magic against me, well, you can fucking forget it, right? You can watch people fall out of the sky and die, scare the shit out of you. Do you know what I mean? That's, I'm not messing about. I anticipate more airplane things happening. Yeah, more disasters. Because who is listening to me? Anybody? How many airplanes do I have to fall out of the sky before someone actually pays attention to me? Do you know how many times I've said that planes are going to fall out of the sky, and they keep falling? I mean, I predict them and they fall out of the sky. They just keep falling out of the sky. Another thing which is really interesting, in the news, I don't know if you noticed, but there was the towers in Hong Kong that caught on fire. See, this is all connected with magic, okay? Because in the tarot deck, it's connected with, there's the Bible, the Book of Revelation, and you've got the tarot deck. If I have a look, there's the Chariot card. That's number 7. Okay, and then there's the tarot. There's the Tower card, which is. I'll get the cards and I'll show you. 1 second. Yeah, there's the Chariot card. Now we need the Tower card. Here it is. Okay. So this is the Tower card. Okay, it's numbered at the top, number 16. Obviously 1 + 6 is 7. So in numerology, this is 7. This represents destruction and chaos, right? There's the lightning bolt from the sky. It hits the tower, the people fall out to their death. It's the phallus of destruction. Yeah. Here's the Chariot card, which is number 7. It says there VII, it's number 7, and that is it's the Chariot. What is it? Well, it's a way, this is, when people people when they get this card, they interpret it as moving forward. Okay, moving forward. Well, how can you move forward? You can move forward. I can walk, right? I can walk forward, right? I'm a carbon-based life form, right? Car is in the word carbon, isn't it? Cars, and then you have cars, motorbikes, trains, airplanes, vans, lorries. I guess you could call all of those. They all connect with the Chariot and the bed. If you notice, you see how those, how it looks like bedposts, right? These are sphinxes. Yeah, you know what sphincters are, right? That's this is a sex magic card. It's sex magic. It's about the bed, and it's about the chariot or the car or the vehicle. Okay, so how many? In Hong Kong, there were 7 towers. Okay, they all caught on fire, and what does it mean? Hong Kong. Well, if Hong means smelly, it's not. If you smell something really bad, you can say, "Ooh, that hongs." What a hong? Do you know what I'm saying? Like hong can mean smelly. Do you know what I'm saying? It's another. It's sex magic. And also, in China, they the dragon is something they depict. They worship the dragon in China, don't they? Really, I mean, you think about it, right? They do all these. They have all these festivities, all their activities that they do, and they always have, lanterns and fake dragons, and artwork of dragons and all that kind of stuff, right? So, you could argue that they worship the dragon, right? A lot of them. And obviously, a dragon breathes fire. And, a dragon flies. Yeah, most dragons, they're depicted as flying and breathing fire. I mean, if you think about it, okay, I mean, the idea from the Bible, there was the serpent that was in the Garden of Eden, and the serpent was cast to the ground. It says, on thy belly you shall go, and you'll consume dust for the rest of your life, basically. Something like that. Don't quote me. I'm just, that's from my I'm just saying that from memory. But the fact is that, well, people depict, because the serpent is called the dragon as well, the great red dragon, the serpent. Yeah. And the thing is, well, people depict dragons, don't they? They depict dragons with wings, flying dragons that breathe fire. So, what happened to on thy belly you shall go? Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. And this is the other thing, because my last video I talked about makeup, or make cup, and obviously makeup has different meanings. A woman could put makeup on her face, or she could be telling a bunch of lies, which is quite likely. If you tell lies, you're making up something, right? You've made it up. But then if someone, let's say two people argue and then they get back together, you could call that makeup as well. But the thing is, I said, I am God. I am the one who, I am make up. Yeah, I'm God. I am make. I make. I made the universe. Right? I mean, the trick with makeup as well is that May is in the word Mary. And cup, the whore of Babylon, she has her cup filled with filth and abominations, right? It's just a filthy cup. So, yeah. And this is the thing, because they ban smoking on airplanes, it says no smoking on board. Well, the thing is, I guess most people don't smoke, do they? But does that mean that they are automatically on board? You know what I mean? Because in terms of magic, it says no smoking on board. So if you're not smoking, you must be on board, or and that's the thing, right? The demons just want to keep trying to, they're just gonna keep trying to fight me for heaven. Do you know what I mean? The demons, they want to go to heaven, but they don't deserve to go to heaven. Do you understand? This is the problem. They want to go to heaven. Everyone was, basically most people want to go to heaven, right? But they don't deserve to go to heaven, but they will fight to try to get to heaven. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they will try to put me down all the time. I'm God. I've explained who I am so many times, and I've warned people so many times. Do you remember what happened on Christmas Day last year? Christmas 2024. People were celebrating, and then, on the news, what happened? Plane fell out of the sky. Boom. 200 people, 300 people dead. Yeah. Shocking, huh? I've seen so many airplanes fall out of the sky. And a lot of that happens when I'm in bed and I'm asleep. When was the last time I was on an airplane? Ages ago. Yeah, the last time I was on an airplane, I think it's when I went to Spain. Well, I went to Barcelona. I think I flew to Barcelona and then I went to a place called Sitges. I think that's... Yeah. It was, I think it was my mum's 50th birthday. So that would have been would have been longer than that. About 11 years ago. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. I haven't had time to go on holiday. Tell you what, I wouldn't mind being on a nice warm beach right now, I'll tell you that much. I'd really like to be on a nice quiet beach somewhere, beautiful weather and cocktails. You know, I mean, just sitting under a sun umbrella, you know, getting a bit of shade from the scorching heat, drinking having some nice beverages, some nice food, enjoying the nice weather. I would really like that right now. Unfortunately, it's not a problem of money. I've got loads of money. I could have been on holiday for the last 4 years. Do you know what I mean? I could go on a year-long holiday if I wanted to. Very easily. For me, it's time and the fact that I've got something very important to get done. Telling the world who I am, God, and getting people to listen to me and take me seriously. Yeah. So, I mean, think about it, because obviously, I'll tell you what, if I go to that news headline, go to Sky News, that's the name they've stolen for themselves, but, well, I'm the Sky. I'm Sky, and they're providing news to me. Do you understand? That's how it works. They want to pretend they're Sky, they're not. I'm Sky. So there's this is the top headlines here. It says software issue linked to solar radiation hit thousands of Airbus planes. Why planes' sudden drop in altitude led to thousands needing software updates. Isn't it interesting how the problem seems to be with solar radiation and software updates? It's because I'm God, I'm the light of the world, and I am trying to get people to listen to me. Yeah, you might want to avoid going on airplanes anytime soon. You're putting yourself at risk. I'd suggest you focus on doing what's right rather than leisure time. I haven't been on holiday in a very long time. Why should you get to go on holiday? Why should you get to go on holiday when I never get to go on holiday? I mean, if you are going on holiday, you better get right with me first. That's all I'm saying. You know, I don't recommend, you know, if you're my enemy, well, you're taking a lot of risks, I'll tell you that much. I remember when I was younger, when I was a kid, well, a teenager probably. My mum had a friend. There was a woman that she used to have as a friend. They used to know each other from school, and her name was Yvonne, and she had a husband called Campbell. They're both from Aberdeen, Scotland, and actually, well, they've been all around the world actually, working for oil companies and stuff like that, I think. But Campbell, he was in, I think it was Rio. He was in Brazil, I think, and he had to catch a flight. He went to go catch his flight and he missed it. And guess what happened to his flight? It vanished in the ocean. No one ever found it. I think eventually they found it, but it was like 10 years later or something. Yeah, the plane just, it fell in the sea, and people were like, where did it go? And he missed it. Very interesting, because, you know, I suppose at that age, that was probably about the time I was watching, you know, I always remember that film, Final Destination. You know, the first one, right? I always, you know, I had the first film, Final Destination, the film. And the guy gets these visions that his airplane flight, he has a vision, excuse me, he has visions that his airplane won't, well, he envisions his airplane accident, and he freaks out and he gets off the airplane before it takes off, and it like blows up in mid sky or something. You know, the plane exploded, I think. I haven't watched that film for a long time, but yeah, anyway, Campbell, very lucky not to get onto the flight that landed in the ocean, or the sea. I think it was the ocean. Yeah, you know, it just sank to the bottom of the ocean, basically. Would you want to be on that flight? Yeah, I didn't like Campbell very much. I always remember this time when I was a kid, and I was just messing around with it. I was a little kid. I was a tiny little kid, and I was like, I think I was egging him on. I was annoying him, and I said, I bet you can't lift me up by my hair. And he put his hand on my head, and he picked me up so I was on my tiptoes. And yeah, that hurt. I never liked him very much since then. Bastard. But yeah. Yeah, he almost died in that flight, didn't he? Interesting that, isn't it? Yep. Probably better than being married to Yvonne. Crazy woman. Yeah. Anyway. I am God. I am the flight attendant. I am the pilot. I am the co-pilot. I am the cloud seeder. I make the clouds. I make the sky. I make the heaven. I make the heavens. I made it all, right? I made everything. I'm good. I'm the maker. You know, this is, I'm the spirit, I'm God, right? Spirit Airways. right? Spirit airline. You know what I mean? Like, I'm God, I'm the Holy Spirit, I breathe oxygen, and I breathe, oh, I breathe air, right? I breathe air, and I breathe smoke as well. At the moment, yeah. So let me grab some cards. See if there's anything else we want to talk about here. Queen of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. Queen of Swords. Strength. Four of Swords. The Hierophant. Nine of Pentacles. Three of Wands. Queen of Cups. Four of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. The Emperor. King of Swords. Six of Cups. Ten of Wands. Page of Pentacles. Temperance. Okay, let me read this. Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords, Strength, Four of Swords, the Hierophant, Nine of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Queen of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, the Emperor, King of Swords, 6 of Cups, 10 of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Temperance. Well, I'm not quite sure what that's talking about, but my ex, she worked as a flight attendant. So Ania Bilak, she worked as a flight attendant. Okay, so you could say Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. This is to do with magic and sex. Queen of Swords. Well, she thinks she knows it all. She's trying to pretend that, yeah. So you got the Queen of Swords, Strength. The Four of Swords lying down with the Hierophant, right? So basically, I'm God, she had sex, I had sex with her, right? We lie down in the same bed. And the thing is that obviously the bed is called the chariot. The chariot means the bed, and it means vehicles, okay? And you could call an airplane, and it's an air vehicle. Okay, I mean, it has wheels on it as well. Remember, it has wheels. When it lands, it has to put the wheels out, right? The landing gear. So, and the other thing is, well, think about it, right? An airplane has wings, right? My name is Grant Salvin. My initials are GS, right? So if you look at the word wings, yeah, that's spelled WIN, which is win, GS. Those are my initials. If you only have one wing, well, chances are your airplane's going to fall out of the sky, isn't it? You know what I mean? How many times do you see a bird fly with one wing? It always has two wings. Anyways, so she four swords, the Hierophant, 9 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, Queen of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. So she's possessive, right? There's the Nine of Pentacles. You could say I'm the 9 of Pentacles, or she's the 9 of Pentacles. 3 of Wands, Queen of Cups. Yeah, I think that's the thing, because she's my ex, and she's having sex with other guys. I think that's what that's talking about. And then 4 of Pentacles, it means holding on, being possessive, right? She's talking, Knight of Swords. She's communicating that the Emperor, the King of Swords, 6 of Cups. So the 6 of Cups is a really interesting card, but you got the 6 of Cups, 10 of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Temperance. And the thing about the 6 of Cups is, well, what does it mean? The 6th card of the major arcana is the Lover's card. Now this is the 6 of Cups. The cups to do with love and emotion, but look at them. They're those are children. And so that's the problem with tarot, is that these are sex magic cards, and so this is an important card because of the fact that it's got children in it, and people interpret this. The way people interpret this card is the past, happy childhood memories, a loving connection, that kind of thing. So that's the thing, right? Because when children are being targeted by adults, this is the thing, right? These cards, they are in, when spirit's trying to communicate that children are needing help, or bad things have happened to children, people don't interpret the cards properly. But I mean, this is this card is interpreted as the past, a loving connection. And well, the thing is, I was with Ania Bilak, in the past. And and the thing is that, well, I'm a young looking. I've got a young looking face. I mean, when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, people used to think I was younger than I looked. And she looked younger than she looked as well. People often used to think that she was underage. My ex-girlfriend Anya, because she was a very young looking girl. She was in her 20s, but she looked like she could have been in her early teens, really. Because I guess you could say, well, we both looked underdeveloped. We weren't, we were young looking people. Okay. So, these are, this depicts children. And then 10 of Wands, well, 10 of Wands could be talking about sex. This is exhaustion. A lot of effort has been exerted, right? But this could also be talking about sex. And also, it's the number X at the top, the X of Wands. Obviously, Anya Bilak, she's been sleeping around with lots of different guys, probably. Page of Pentacles, Temperance. So this is the Sagittarius card. And my ex-girlfriend, she's a Sagittarius. This is to do with alchemy, magic, artwork. The Thoth deck, the title of the Thoth card, it looks very similar to the Temperance card. This is supposed to depict Archangel Michael. He's pouring from one cup into another cup, and it's called Temperance, and it's it's interpreted as balance or alchemy, art. It's a powerful card. The thing is that she is lying about me. I separated with, I lived with her for a year and we separated. And since we left, she's been trying to hold on to my energy. And she is pretending, she's screwing a whole bunch of other guys. And she's basically trying to pass them off as me, right? And while the world is involved with things like sex trafficking, and children being abused, and Anya is more than content to continue acting like an evil whore, telling lies about me, and people and children are suffering because she wants to be a whore. Okay, a witch. And I've explained this so many times, and I am fed up of it. I'm tired of it. She will burn in hell for what she's done. She really will. And the thing is that, I mean, I'm aware of what she's doing. I'm aware that she's an evil witch. And the fact is that if I wanted to contact her, to have a conversation with her and tell her how I feel about all of this, I can't. I can't contact her because she's made it impossible for me to contact her. I don't know, I couldn't find her on social media. I couldn't find her anywhere. There's no way to contact her. And it's not, when I separated from her, it wasn't a horrible separation. I gave her the opportunity to move out of my place. I gave her time. And even after she moved out, she still popped round for sex and dinner. And then it was only after her brother moved to Brighton, this was years and years and years ago. That was, well, she would pop round for sex and dinner. You know, that lasted for about a month, and then her brother came to live with her in Brighton, and after that we stopped talking, and then she just continued her life of being a filthy, evil witch whore, and I've never heard from her since. I mean, this is the other thing as well, because I've shown you the world card. I told you it depicts my butt. It's my throne, and you know, it depicts my butt because it's my throne. But the thing is that you know, if a woman goes on an airplane, you know, she's got her makeup on, and then she goes to the toilet on the airplane to take a shit, right? Makeup, right? You know, she's producing a bunch of crap. You know what I mean? Doing all this magic and witchcraft to try and, you know what I mean? She's trying to pretend that she's me when she's not me. You understand? I mean, it's complicated, but, you know, I'm explaining to you, like, the kind of things that she's trying to do. At the end of the day, I am the flight attendant. I'm the Word. I'm God. People want to pretend that I don't exist. They want to try to steal what is mine. Things that don't belong to them. Now, why is this all important? I mean, you know, in the Old Testament, it talks about, you know, the story about Elijah. You know, he was taken up to heaven in a chariot of fire. You know, sex is well, this is the thing. The chariot of fire, you know, it has to do with, it's connected with the idea of sex as well. Okay. And the thing is, I haven't been having, you know, Annie was the last girlfriend I had. I had sex with 2 other women after that. Actually, no, 3 other women, actually. 2 in Thailand and 1 in Spain. And that's it. Okay? Those weren't relationships. That was me making drunken mistakes. That was me making stupid drunken mistakes. Okay? And I wish I'd never done them. I really wish that I'd never. I mean, actually, if I think about all the relationships all the sexual relationships I have, well, I basically regret all the women I've ever been with, to be honest, because they're only interested in one thing: my power, and that's it. That's all they want. And that's the thing, right? Because, you know, every relationship I've had with women or people, you know, they just constantly just try to keep taking from me and taking from me and taking from me until there's nothing left. And then obviously for the last 4 or 5 years, what have I been doing? Taking it all back. You know, like, I've identified what's been going wrong in my life. I know I'm God, and I know what people have been trying to do to me. So I've been spending a lot of time taking these things, you know, reclaiming my energy. You know, it's my energy. I'm the energy source. Without me, there is no energy. right? I am the source of all blessings. So, yeah, interesting, isn't it? No smoking on board. Board's an interesting word, isn't it? Yeah. No smoking on board. So, let's do one more reading. Anything else I want to mention? Anything we want to talk about here? Okay, we've got 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. So this is the thing, right? This is the major arcana, and it's labeled X for number 10. But really, if you include the full card, it's the 11th card. And if you look at the 11th card, the one that's XI, that is called the Justice card. It's called Justice. And this is the thing I should have mentioned, right? I was going to mention it in my last video, but I forgot about it. Okay, I was talking about cups and the 8 of cups, and how 8 is a magic way of saying poo. The 8 of cups is someone who's disappointed. They walk away from the cups, and I was saying, probably because the cups are full of shit. That's one way of looking at it. But the Justice card is sort of connected with the 8 of cups, because this is the thing, right? If I have a drink, if I go to say, if I order a drink from somewhere, it might come with, if I order like a Coca-Cola or something, and it will come with ice in it, right? And quite often what people will do is they'll drink the drink, and then at the end they'll start eating the ice. And so you could say that's 8 of cups, right? 8 ice. And obviously justice is just ice. Alright, so just ice is connected with the 8 of cups. I have eaten ice. Do you understand? It's a magic trick. So we've got the 10 of Swords. That's all about backstabbing and betrayal. Notice it's the X. This is, the fact is the tarot is, this is designed as a weapon to attack me. Because it's like, well, who's the X then? Because technically, Anya, well, she's my ex and I'm her ex. But that's the thing, right? I'm the Word. I'm God. Well, letter is a word, isn't it? Letter. What's a letter? Well, that's a letter, isn't it? X. That's a letter. Therefore, I'm X. I mean, obviously, someone can write a letter. I mean, I could think Anya, she wrote me a few letters. Yeah, she did. Anya wrote me letters when I first started getting to know her. She used to write me letters and send them to me from Poland. She sent me things like, birthday card. She sent me a birthday card, Christmas card, that sort of thing. And she would write, they were all handmade and stuff like that. Letters, that sort of thing, right? I'm the Word, I'm God, right? Sword. Well, look, it's a sword, right? What's sword? I'm the Word. Well, word is in sword. So basically what people are trying to do is they're trying to say, yeah, but S is a letter, and S, that letter, is word. Basically. And it's like, well, letter is a word, you fucking idiot. I'm God. demons will try to use all kinds of weird tricks against me. And then there's the Tower, the Star. And then we've got the Devil and the Justice. You know, the just ice. Yeah, there's that guy for he's part of the Reform. What's his name? The guy Richard Tice. Yeah, you know what it means to entice somebody. Yeah. Just ice. You know, this is the thing, right? They want to use these tricks. Like, instead of, you know, they want to avoid giving me justice, they just want to give me ice. You know, the cold shoulder. 8 of Cups. I mean, think about it, right? Because cups are meant to do with water, okay? And obviously water is something you drink. So if you have something that's in a cup that you eat, well, ice is the solid form of water. It's cold water, frozen water. And we got the Queen of Wands, Temperance. Like I said, this is a Sagittarius card. She is a Sagittarius. That's her her sun zodiac sign. Then we've got the Page of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Empress, and then we got the Ace of Swords, the World, the Sun, King of Wands, Six of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Eight of Cups, Death, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands, King of Pentacles, Judgment, Three of Cups. So let me have a look at this. So, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Swords, the Tower, the Star, the Devil, Justice, Queen of Wands, Temperance, Page of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Empress, Ace of Swords, the World, the Sun. King of Wands, Six of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Eight of Cups, Death, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands, King of Pentacles, Judgment, Three of Cups. So, you know, I get the... So let's just talk about Anya. She just keeps trying to... You know, she wants to create destiny. Right? She wants to keep using witchcraft. Right? She's carrying on. Yeah, she wants to control fate and destiny. The Wheel of Fortune. X. Right? Betrayal. The Ten of Swords. Backstabbing. The X card as well. Ten of Swords. The Tower, the Star, the Devil. Is that talking about Aaliyah? Because obviously Aaliyah, she's a Capricorn, which is associated with the Devil card, right? She died on the 25th of August 2001, which was weeks before 9/11, 2001, right? The Tower, the Star, Aaliyah Dana Houghton, the Devil. Okay, so there's this Ten of Swords, the Betrayal. And it's talking about Aaliyah, who died, right? And it says Justice, right? Queen of Wands, Temperance. So, you know, that means, you know, alchemy, art, witchcraft, basically. Page of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Empress, Ace of Swords. So this is to do with communicating. The World, the Sun. So, you know, this is the thing, right? Aaliyah and my ex-girlfriend, they're trying to say that they say that the world is God, right? You know, that's the thing. They don't want to, they're trying to hide me, right? It says here, Ace of Swords, the world, the sun, right? Jesus said, I am the light of the world. You know, I'm not the world, I'm the light of the world. Right? I'm God. I'm Jesus. I'm Jesus the second coming. But it says here, Ace of Swords, the world, the sun, King of Wands, Six of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Eight of Cups, Death, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands, King of Pentacles, Judgment, Three of Cups. So basically, Anya and Aliyah. Interesting, you know, Ania Bilak, my ex-girlfriend, and Aaliyah Dana Houghton, who was Mary, who carried Jesus. They hate me because they are afraid of me. That's the thing, right? They fear being judged. They don't want to suffer for the evil things they have done. They are trying to say, I'm not God. I'm not the light of the world. And they want to look at, you know, King of Wands, you know, basically guys who are fucking around, right? You know, guys who are, you know, they talk crap, right? There's no water. They like a man who likes to screw around. There's no love or emotion, right? They like a man who basically just wants to screw. Lots of women. You know, they're greedy. They're selfish. They just want to have sex. You know, lots of sexual partners. Because that's the thing. The King of Pentacles can be someone it could be a man who's rich. But he could mean that he's had a lot of assholes, right? Because that's what the star is. The butt is, in magic, the butt is a star, right? Judgment. You know, dead people. You know, notice how grey they are, right? You know, 50 Shades of Grey, yeah? Wake up, you assholes, right? Judgment, Three of Cups, right? Let's grab a few more cards here. And then we got Page of Wands, Four of Cups, that's self-serving disinterest, Queen of Swords. So, you know, here's a bitch who thinks she knows everything, right? Four of Cups, Queen of Swords. I mean, it's interesting because in the Thoth deck, the Queen of Swords, how is she depicted? She cuts off the sword, she cuts off the man's head, so she has a man's head in her hand, and she's flying up into the sky. You seen that? You notice how thought is in the word Thoth. You know, thought means, basically, it means whore. Doesn't it? You know, it was a very common word used. You know, I remember when I used to see all these girls walking around in their leggings. You know, they were so thin you could see their thongs through their leggings. You know, that's what, you know, they would often get labeled as thought. And it means, you know, she's basically, she's a loose woman. You know, she just wants to have sex with loads of guys. Right? She's a hoe. Strength. You know, the Strength card is associated with lust. Its corresponding card in the Thoth deck is labeled Lust. And it's a naked woman riding a beast with 7 lion heads. And then we got the Two of Swords. You know, here's the blind woman. If her arms in an X shape, yeah, she's got her back turned to the sea. I'm the one who sees. She's blind because she doesn't want to see. She's, you know, her arms are in the X shape. You know, she's a shit talker, right? She's got a number 2 brain. Do you know what I'm saying? Knight of Pentacles. So Two of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Six of Wands. You know, this is talking about sex. Two of Cups. Told you. And then there's the Magician, right? So she's screwing around, being a whore. And what do we have on the bottom of the deck? The Hanged Man. So this is the thing, right? I was with her. She's my, you know, I'm her ex-boyfriend, right? She used to sleep in my bed. We used to hang out together. Yeah? And that's the thing, right? I lived in Brighton at flat 24 Albion House. Now, the interesting thing about Anya was she is totally flat-chested. Unless she had a boob job. I mean, like, seriously, I'm not joking. Like, flat as flat can be. I mean, she literally, you know, she didn't have boobs at all. I mean, it was, I seriously, it didn't even look like she had any. I mean, that's how small her boobs were. Literally, there was nothing there except nipples. That was it. You know, because she was very underdeveloped. She is underdeveloped, right? That's Anya Bylock. But that's the thing. I lived in a flat 24, right? And obviously she was flat. And after, you know, she moved out, you know, there were all the conspiracy theories coming out, people talking about flat Earth. Everyone's like, yeah, the Earth is flat, yo. We think the Earth is flat. And it's like, you know, and I looked at it for about a month and I was like, yeah, that's really weird. Why is everyone talking about it? That's like, the Earth's not flat. But, you know, I mean, it was, you know, I mean, it was magic. It was witchcraft. That's what it was all about. And this is the thing, because if you read in the book of Revelation, chapters, probably chapter 4 and chapter 5 and other parts, right? It talks about the 24 elders who were sat on their throne before the throne of God, right? And when, you know, and what happens is that, you know, they fall to their knees and they drop their crowns and they praise God, right? So that's the thing, because I lived at flat 24 Albion House. You know, that's the thing. It's Albion. Albion's the old name for England. England, the old name for, you know, England, what it means angel land. Okay? Because, I mean, if you know in German, Engel, Engel, means angel. And Albion, well, how do you spell that? Spelled A-L, so all or Al, which is a way of, you know, you could say, you know, Aliyah, you know, Aliyah or Al or all or A-L, you know, I'm God, L, yeah, Al, and Bion, B-I-O-N, no, B-I-O-N, right? Bi, so basically I have a bi ass. My anus is bisexual, right? That's, you know, I have a rainbow butt. Albion, flat 24, Albion Street, sorry, flat 24, Albion House, Albion Street, Brighton. That was my old address. BN2 9PN. Yeah, that was the postcode. BN2 9PN. And that's where I lived with Ania Bilak for 1 year. So yeah, it was about 1 year. And the thing is that because they keep, you know, the world keeps doing butt magic to me, and you know they're trying to say that she's the empress, that and that you know she's talking shit, and demons are trying to put her first, right, instead of me, obviously, because the demons don't like me. Should I do one more reading? Okay, one more reading. The Lover's card. Six of Pentacles. King of Wands. Two of Wands. Ten of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. Fuck's sake. Shit's so annoying. I mean, she really is just a filthy, disgusting whore. Nine of Cups. The Emperor. Ace of Wands. Four of Wands. Eight of Swords. Four of Cups. Page of Wands. Right, and then we got Six of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Right, so what does this say? The Lovers, Six of Pentacles. So I don't know what the Six of Pentacles is talking about, right? I mean, there's the Lovers card. There's Adam and Eve, yeah, and the, you know, it depicts Adam and Eve in the garden. You know, there's a tree with a snake in it, right? The Lovers card, and then there's the Six of Pentacles, right? You know, that's two sixes. The Lovers card is number 6, right? There's the Lovers card under there, yeah. And then there's the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, you know, it could be charity or it could be sex trafficking. Which one is it, right? King of Wands, right? So, you know, what is the King of Wands? You know, is it talking about me, or is it talking about a guy who's, do you know what I mean? He's talking about guys, or a guy who has a lot of sex, right? Two of Wands, you know, that's anal sex. Ten of Pentacles, that's lots of arseholes. Queen of Wands. Nine of Cups. The Emperor. Ace of Wands. Four of Wands. Eight of Swords, Four of Cups, Page of Wands. Well, what the fuck is that talking about then? The Lovers, Six of Pentacles, King of Wands, Two of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Nine of Cups. So it says here, the Lovers, Six of Pentacles, King of Wands. Wait, what the fuck? The Lovers, Six of Pentacles, King of Wands, Two of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Nine of Cups, the Emperor, Ace of Wands, Four of Wands, Eight of Swords, Four of Cups, Page of Wands. So the way I read this is that the Lovers card, you know, it's, well, I'm God, right? The Lovers is mine, right? It's for me, right? To, you know, I can have sex with whoever I want, right? All the women I want to have sex with, I do what I want, right? The Lovers, Six of Pentacles, King of Wands, Two of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. That's lots of woman and money and sex. Queen of Wands, sexy woman. Nine of Cups. I'm the Nine of Cups. The Emperor. Ace of Wands. You know, that's anal sex and that's what I want to do. Four of Wands, society, trapped. Eight of Swords. And, you know, this is the thing, right? I'm trying to trap the world. I'm basically saying to the world, I hate you and you're going to be punished for it, right? You hated me first. You tried to ruin my life. Now you're going to live an existence of being enslaved to me. And that's what's going to happen because I'm God and I can do that. Eight of Swords, Four of Cups, Page of Wands. Because that's the thing, the world is just a bunch of fucking Page of Wands, right? I mean, you know, a lot of readers, what they'll say is, you know, what they'll say is they'll say something like, hang on, you know, if they, you know, like a woman, she might look at this and she might think, oh yeah, that guy, he's a Page of Wands, you know, he's not very good in the bedroom. You know, I want a king of Wands, you know. And the King of Wands, you know, that's how a lot of female tarot readers will interpret the tarot cards. You know, if they're looking for a man, they're like, yeah, I want the King of Wands, I want the guy with the big stick and all that kind of stuff, right? But the thing is, I'm God, right? You know, all these whores, they want men who fuck around. You know, they want a man who's had sex with 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 1,000 women, right? You know, they want themselves a porn star. You know, and to them, that's the King of Wands, right? But really, the world are a bunch of Page of Wands. You know, they want to be God. They want to be me. And the best they can hope for is screwing around like a bunch of animals. And that's it. And lying about me. Isn't it interesting? Lying about me. Well, what does it, you know, when someone has sex, usually they'll go in the bed and they'll lie down. And what did I say? They're lying about me. I'm not saying that their sex is about me. It's not about me. I'm telling you that what they're saying is false. They're telling false things about me. They're trying to pretend that I'm them when I'm not them. I mean, it's, you know, like I said with the example, I am the flight attendant. I've attended flights. Yet, my ex-girlfriend, she goes on an airplane and works, and her profession, you know, is called flight attendant. Yeah, but I'm the flight attendant. I'm God. I'm the Word. You know, people think they can try to rob that from me and deny me access to the sky. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. Or, you know, you got Sky News, or you got Sky Business, and, you know, it's like, well, that's my business. I'm Sky. I'm God. Who the fuck do you think you are? You fucking bunch of arseholes. Thieving arseholes. And I mean, that's the thing, right? Because the world card, like I said, it depicts my anus. It's a magic card about my anus. And obviously my ex-girlfriend, well, what was she called? Anya. Yeah? And the thing is that, well, Jesus was crucified on a cross. And X is also a cross. And the thing is that the cross, the crucifix, Jesus Christ, is associated with my past. And my past is my butt. So, and the thing is, my cousin, he's called Andrew. And the X is called, it's the St. Andrew's cross is it's an X shape, right? So, I've got multiple people trying to fight me with their bullshit magic. Evil thieves who are going to burn in hell. Obviously the name Ania, well, Anne and anus, anus, and us. That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to pose as my anus. Using all kinds of crazy magic. I mean, my cousin Andrew, yeah, he married a woman called Iva, or Eva, right? Her name's spelled I-V-A. I-V is the Roman numerals for the emperor. That guy, Andrew, he's an atheist. He was King David, right? But now he's an atheist and he thinks women should rule the world. I mean, it's hilarious how fucking stupid it is, you know what I mean? 7 of Wands. 2 of Cups. So the 7 of Wands, this is someone resisting or making a stand against these people getting together, right? 7 of Wands, 2 of Cups, 6 of Cups. So, it's to do with, a loving connection from the past, or maybe it's talking about children, perhaps. So the thing I should mention is, these people, so Anya, my ex-girlfriend, or it's Leah, Dana Houghton, or it's my cousin Andrew, they're not lovers or believers in God. They don't believe in God. They're atheists. They're God-haters. Okay? That's what they are. And so they're surrounded by demons who want to have sex with children. And so the demons who want to have sex with children are like, hey, stupid bitch, we'll help you out. We'll get you what you want. Yeah, you give us what we want, we'll give you what you want. Yeah, that's how it works, and that's why the world is sick in the fucking head. Right? 9 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 3 of Cups. Yeah, the whore party. 8 of Wands. I mean, the 8 of Wands card is quite unique because there's no one in the card. It's just 8 wands, and it's moving quickly. It's flying through the sky. It's about fast movement. And that's interesting because if I didn't eat anything, that would be called fasting, right? And this is associated with the number 8, isn't it? So if I didn't eat something, I would be fasting. And obviously 8 of Wands, well, it could be interpreted as sodomy, because 8 is poo, right? And it's the stick of fire, right? And then we got the Knight of Swords, Death, Ace of Swords, the Empress, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Two of Swords, Page of Cups. So, Seven of Wands, Two of Cups, Six of Cups, Nine of Wands, Five of Wands, Three of Cups, Eight of Wands, Knight of Swords, Death, Ace of Swords, the Empress, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Two of Swords, Page of Cups. So is that a good thing? I mean, it's so complicated, it's hard to know. I mean, the bitch, my ex-girlfriend, Anya Boylet, well, shit, I couldn't even tell you what she looks like. You know what I mean? I don't know, I'm not seeing, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know where she is, I don't know what she's doing with her life, I have no idea whatsoever, because she wants to stay completely hidden from me. You know, she wants to throw stones and hide her hand. She wants to pretend that she's God, that she's the Empress, and that I'm dead. Right? She wants to pretend like I don't exist, when she's the one hiding from me. I mean, I don't want anything to do with her at all. I stopped fancying her years ago anyway. Do you know what I mean? I stopped fancying her before I got rid of her. She annoyed the hell out of me. She was an annoying little bitch. I would have preferred a yappy dog. Yeah, I like dogs. But her, I mean, she doesn't even deserve the word bitch. Seriously. And I'm talking about Anya. She doesn't deserve the word bitch because she's evil. Totally evil. And so, what's these cards about then? Seven of Wands, Two of Cups, Six of Cups, Nine of Wands, Five of Wands, Three of Cups, Eight of Wands, Knight of Swords, Death, Ace of Swords, the Empress, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I don't really know what that's saying, but you know, it's a lot of arguing. You know, there's the Five of Wands, Three of Cups, Eight of Wands, Knight of Swords, Death. Yeah, I don't, you know, she's fucked around, she's been a whore, she's hung around with a bunch of whoremongers, a bunch of dickheads, and they all talk a lot of shit, right? And demons are like, you know, they think it's fucking great. And they're all going to burn in hell for it. So, you know, that's what's going to happen, right? Because they're a bunch of arseholes. They're really horrid people. And they keep playing with fire. I mean, this is the thing, right? Think about this for a second. I'm the Word, I'm God. What's a wand? A wand is associated, in the tarot deck, is associated with fire and magic, passion, will. Well, I am God, I am wonder. W-A-N-D-E-R. You know, sometimes I wonder about. Yeah. So what's the wand then? What is it? It's me. The only thing is about Anya Bilag is, well, I stuck my penis in her. My magic wand. I guess you could call it Ace of Wands. I mean, this is the thing, right? Because Sagittarius is associated with the Ten of Wands tarot card. Because, well, it's the Eight of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Ten of Wands, and the Temperance card. So, yeah. You know, what is the X of Wands? Well, I'm her ex. I'm the wand. It's my power. It's always my power. It's just that people want to pretend it's theirs when it's not theirs. I'll tell you what. Do one more reading. The Magician. Two of Swords. Two of Cups. Strength. Six of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. Judgment. So we got the Magician, right? So this, you know, this is talking about magic, right? What was I talking about? Wand, power. It comes from me. I'm God. Magician. Two of Swords. Well, the Two of Swords, you know, it's the X-shaped arms, right? X. There's the blindfold. It's stalemate. It's blocking. It's turning your back to the truth. Because the sea is behind her, and she doesn't want to see. You know, this is, you know, the sword's to do with logic and communication, and she is, you know, she doesn't want to see. She's running away from the truth. That's the idea of that card. Two of Cups. So, you know, the Magician, Two of Swords, Two of Cups. I mean, this is the thing, Anya, she didn't want me to be happy. That's the thing, right? When she left, I wished her well, right? I basically said, oh, I hope, well, she goes on and she has a happy life with some other guy, right? And what did she wish for me? To be dead. That's what she wished for me. She wished for me to be dead. Luckily, the Death card is my card. I mean, this is the thing, right? My sun sign is Scorpio, and I'm associated with the Death card, right? I mean, I am death magic, right? And then we got Strength. So, you know, that is, you know, it's the woman with the lion. It's 8. You know, 8 is poo. And then, you know, it's the Lust card. Because that's what it, you know, the Thoth deck, it's, you know, this is associated with lust. You know, being a whore. Yeah. And then there's the Six of Pentacles. So, you know, getting shared around like a piece. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's the thing, right? She wants to be shared around. I mean, that's the thing about Anya, right? I heard stories about her, you know, having sex with guys I used to be friends, guys I used to associate with, and she wanted to be passed around by a bunch of guys. You know, like the village bicycle, basically. That's the kind of girl she is. The village bicycle, or the world bicycle, more like everyone wants, you know, she wants to get ridden by everybody. Queen of Cups, you know, the whore, you know, with her cup full of shit. Bat soup cup. Yeah. Nine of Pentacles. Judgment. Get some more cards here. Nine of Swords on the bottom there. The Hierophant. Six of Wands. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, you can tell I'm very irritated. Yeah. Yeah, it's only been like, what, 13 or 14 years? The bitch, you know, well, let's not say bitch. Let's say Anya Byler, the evil witch. She's been wishing nothing but bad things for me ever since she left. You know, I should have thrown her out the fucking window. That's what I should have done. Instead, I let the bitch hang around. You know, I let the evil witch hang around. I've got the Ten of Pentacles there. And then we got the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. Oh, Ten of Swords. I was way too nice to her. The fact was that she moved from Poland to England and she moved in with me. That's how she went. That's how she came from Poland to England, by moving in with me. Right? She used me as a stepping stone. Right? She was using me to get what she wanted. And then when things went bad, she decided she wanted to destroy me. And that's what she wants to do. But she will burn in hell for that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, I just keep... These cards... I'm not shuffling very well. Got butterfingers. I'm feeling very annoyed. Annoyed. Yeah, interesting word. Four of Swords. You know, I'm just tired of reading about her filthy sexual things that she's been doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's just been passed around like a bucket. Got Four of Pentacles. King of Wands. And the thing is, like, I mean, she's using that as a weapon against me. I could really care less what she's doing or what she's doing. You know what I mean? I really don't care about her at all. I wish she didn't. You know what I mean? Like, I wish she would just fuck off and keep her mouth shut and stay out of my life. But instead, she's doing all sorts of evil, witchcraft, sex, magic, talking shit, associating and trying to fight against me with Mary, Aaliyah, and people that I used to call friend. You know, they're working as a team trying to ruin me. And I've been waiting a long time to get this problem solved. So, yes, I'm very angry about it. I'm angry. Oh, does that mean I'm Anne, does it? Oh, is that what stupid demons want to be? I'm annoyed. I'm angry. Oh, therefore I must be Anya Bilak then. You know, this is the stupid fucking game people want to play. Oh, that's Anus. Anus. Oh, is this Anne? Hello? Is this Anne? So, the magician, 2 of swords, 2 of cups. Strength, or lust. 6 of pentacles, Queen of cups, 9 of pentacles, judgment. The Hierophant, 6 of wands, 10 of pentacles, Ace of pentacles, 8 of wands, 10 of swords, temperance, 10 of wands, 4 of swords, 4 of pentacles, King of wands. So, like I said, with Anya, she's trying to use all sorts of magic to try to block me. She wants to cock block me. She wants to kill me, really. She's a whore. Queen of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, Judgment. The Hierophant. Well, who's the Hierophant? I'm God. 6 of Wands is, you know, it can mean victory or it can mean sex. 10 of Pentacles. How I read that is the Hierophant, God, me, you know, victory, 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, 10 of Swords, Temperance, 10 of Wands, 4 of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, King of Wands. So, I'm the Hierophant, I'm the King of Wands, I'm God. I mean, I'm the source of all blessings, I'm the source of all power. The 10 of Pentacles is coming to me. That means lots of money, lots of woman, lots of ass. And there's going to be temperance. You know, I'm going to be, you know, the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands, temperance, which is a lot of effing, right? A lot of fucking. Yeah. Because it is what's owed to me. I'm God. The world has conspired with a filthy whore to try to ruin me. So now it's my turn to get all the filthy whores and ruin them. Do you understand? That's called justice. And if whore doesn't want to participate, then go to hell. Bye-bye. Burn in hell for the rest of eternity. Because you don't want to be of service. So therefore, burn in hell. Right? Go to hell and die. Right? Fuck off. So, I'll leave it there.